Believe me, I want to make this video as respectful as I can, although I can't guarantee that that entire idea is going to be accomplished. So today, what I wanted to do was review the TSN Overdrive segment from, when was this, yesterday? Yesterday. This is from 19 hours ago. And the article, or not the article, but the page is going to be linked in the description if you want to go ahead and listen to this audio hit yourself. Overdrive is a show that kind of goes over most of the NHL's news and Leaf stuff in particular. So, when NHL insiders like Pierre LeBrun are brought onto the show, you can expect a whole bunch of conversations to happen about different parts of the league. Pierre LeBrun was brought on for a 15-minute segment discussing Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews, why the Avs will be active, and the Canucks extending Kuzmenko. Again, the link is in the description if you want to go ahead and listen to the audio hit yourself. But the reason we're making this video is because somewhere in there, you had yourselves a conversation about Canucks captain Bo Horvat, and what exactly it is the Canucks are apparently asking in exchange for their C. Take a look at this post made on the Canucks subreddit going over the thing. Pierre LeBrun on the price of Bo Horvat. This is what he says. Again, they want a young center and a young defender as a part of a multi-package on top of a first-round pick. And this is why I said I wanted to make this video as respectfully as I could. Because Bo Horvat, as a rental player, in my opinion, is not going to go out there and fetch that much. I hate to say it. I mean, look, the top comment on the Canucks subreddit says, Jack Hughes, Luke Hughes, and a first, right? Because that's the meme going around since New Jersey is apparently one of the teams that's really going hardball and trying to get Bo. But, yeah, young center, young defender, and a first for one aging rental 60-goal scorer or 50-goal scorer pace player, Bo Horvat? I don't know, man. Let's go over to Bo and talk about his statistical profile here and why exactly this appears to be the plan here. Bo Horvat is all the things that we have talked about him in the past. He is a captain, he is a leader, he can win faceoffs, he was drafted back in 2013, and he was the 9th overall pick. He's 27 years old now, and this season he is on pace for 53 goals and 85 total points. Now, that would be a career high in all these categories. In fact, he's at 50 points in 48 games played right now. He's actually tied his career high in goals from last season in 22 fewer games. The guy has gone on an absolute heater this season when it comes to scoring. Unfortunately, though, that really has slowed down a little bit the past few weeks, and I know for sure because my fantasy team is suffering because of it, but like, Bo Horvat is in such a strange position now, because I feel like with all the contract extension talk going on here in Vancouver, the idea going around that he wants a lot more than he is worth, how the Canucks have an offer on the table, but Bo wants a lot more, which is his right to go out there and ask for, but the way that it's been going about makes Canucks fans feel a little bit sour regarding the whole ordeal. Plus, you have the idea that Bo just kind of keeps on saying the same thing over and over again to the media. Oh, we need to be better, our results are unacceptable. And then you had Bo's handling of the Bruce situation where they asked him about it and he was like, oh, I'm not really fit to comment on that. And I feel like the past few months have kind of gotten out of control when it comes to the perspective that Bo Horvat is viewed upon in this media landscape. You have now a Canucks team that not only chose to re-sign JT Miller over Bo, but now they've also chosen to re-sign Andrei Kuzmenko over Bo too. This makes it a lot more difficult, in my opinion, to get your desired trade package of a young center, a young defenseman, and a first-round pick, because NHL teams are going to be like, okay, what are you trying to get at here? Patrick Allvin, Jim Rutherford, we know you just re-signed Andrei Kuzmenko. You need to free up money. There's no way you're going to go out there and re-sign Bo. Plus, all the media speculation says that you gave him your final offer, and he said no. Why are we going to go out there and pay your price when we know this is an asset you're trying to get rid of? You're actively trying to move him out. And you're not even allowing us to talk to the guy to discuss an extension of our own. Like, you are holding back any potential deal from getting done because you're trading Bo Horvat as a pure rental rather than a guy that some NHL team with more cap space than you is going to be willing to sign long term. It's very strange to look at from that lens because the price is so gosh darn high. The Canucks cannot do in this situation what they did with Ryan Kesler, which was go out there and pretty much say no to a guy like Shea Theodore in that trade, and end up getting Luka Spiza instead. And with this Bo idea getting tossed out there by LeBrun, it makes me start to think about other rentals in the past that had gotten swapped around and whether or not this trade price of a young center, a young D, and a first is actually worth it. I mean, look at what Claude Giroux got last season. Now, that was a little difficult because Claude was only really willing to go to one team, but he got Owen Tippett, he got a first, and the Flyers actually had to add to make that trade go through. Look at some of the other rentals that got traded. Taylor Hall, for example, that comes to mind. When the Devils sent Taylor Hall to the Arizona Coyotes, they got a whole bunch of stuff. Whole bunch of players, whole bunch of picks, and most of these guys are quite young. It's just none of these guys are huge, significant impact makers at the top league in the world right now. I mean, Nick Merkley isn't even in the NHL anymore, nor is Nate Schnarr. Now, Kevin Ball needs a little bit more refining before he fulfills his true potential, but this trade was huge because Taylor Hall was a heart-winning guy. He was so desired in the trade market. Bo Horvat doesn't have that same resume, and unfortunately, just looking at it historically, I don't see the Vancouver Canucks being able to get this sort of a package at all, unless that young center and a young defenseman are really just not great prospects in general. Guys who might not have too much of a ceiling, guys whose names aren't really out there as actual legit talent, and a first-round pick on top of that, like, that's a lot. And it might be smoke and mirrors. Maybe it is. Maybe Rutherford and Alvin are just throwing that out there so teams can psych themselves out into accidentally giving something of value while other teams are bidding for Bo at the same time. But, like, it's difficult, in my opinion, really internalizing this idea as being what Bo Horvat is going to go for. I mean, if the Canucks do get all this stuff, they get a first, they get a young center, they get a young defenseman, and all of these assets are good NHL players by the time 2025-2026 rolls around, then I guess we would have come full circle. Corey Schneider would have been traded for Bo, Bo would have been traded for all this stuff, and hopefully the Canucks look pretty good in a few years, but I don't know. You can talk to the comments on your thoughts about what Pierre LeBrun said on Overdrive. A young center, a young D-man, and a first. That is the revealed trade asking price for Bo Horvat on a team that has no leverage now that they re-signed Andrei Kuzmenko, on a team that already gave Horvat their final offer, then which Horvat apparently didn't sign because, I mean, if he signed it, they would have been signed right now. You know? Surprise, surprise. That's how it works. But thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think Bo Horvat is going to go for? Do you think this idea of bringing up former rental situations kind of spells doom for what the Canucks could get? Do you think they're going to be able to fulfill their wishes? Or do trades like Claude Giroux and Taylor Hall and some of the other former trade rentals signify something else? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.